Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. This morning we're taking up a wire that we put in. Excuse me, got a frog in my throat. We moved the wire. There's actually a permanent high tensile wire. You can see it right there around this pond. But when that pond comes up in the spring, we actually moved the wire back with a temporary poly here. We just don't want to take a chance of the cows getting in there and mucking that up. And to give you an example, look at this. This is the emergency spillways on this side, or the backup spillway, I might say. The real spillway's on the other side over there near the corner. But boy, if you put cows in that right there, you talk about a mud hole. And folks, this is a phenomenal fishing pond. It doesn't look like much, but when you come into this pond, you better have stout line on your fishing pole, because you'll never get a fish out of there. We had one of our hunters that came out and fished this, and he sent me the picture of the fish, and he put it back. It was, I believe it was 8.5 pounds. Eight or 8.5. It was a monster, just a monster of a fish. And we caught some out here last year. We kept a few. You need to take some out. We probably took out 6 that were around the 3-pound range. And I've caught a big one in here years ago, and I threw it back. But a lot of cattails, which is good fish cover. I don't know what's pulling up. I guess it's got to be muskrats. They're working them over pretty good. That's their food source. Ooh, they went a big old swirl right there. So the bass are already getting active. But we built this pond. This is the pond that I built on this farm. We are on the farm we call Jan's Farm. And this was the lease payment. So the lady that owned it, there wasn't any water on here. She was giving the hay away every year. And I told her, I said, what about me coming in running livestock on that? She goes, well, Greg, I don't have any fence. I don't have any water. I'm like, ma'am, I can fix both of those. And so I came in and paid for this pond. And in those days, I built this pond in one day. It was $800. Today, this same pond would cost you, it's going to cost you probably $2,000 or more, depending how deep you go. This one's 12 foot deep in the middle, but it's got a good watershed. It drains all the way up to the top of that hill right there. As you can tell, it's full. It's coming out the spillway. We got a beautiful rain last night, 1/2 inch, and they're talking about possibly getting 2 to 4 inches this weekend. I kind of hope we don't get to 4. I wouldn't mind having the 2. Us farmers, we're kind of picky. We had the mineral feeder over there on that side. Today, because it's so wet, you don't want to be putting that big mineral feeder out in the middle of your pasture with that many cows, because they will chomp it up a little bit, and you don't want that on your pasture. You just don't want them chewing it up. So they can do without mineral for a day or two until it gets more solid. Or if you do move that mineral into a pasture where it's really wet, put it in a fence line up around a tree somewhere, not out in the middle of your grass. Typically, they're not going to tear that up as bad. But you put it right up there on that hill, they're going to have issues. What's that, Isaac?
I wonder if the bass are up yet.
They are. I just saw one swirl in that corner over there. There's another one right in front of you. You can see the swirl from a distance. They're up. I'm not sure how active they are, but the only way to tell is throw a lure in there.
Get out there.
Yep. Hey, I wanted to give you both a plug for your up and new YouTube channel.
Oh yeah.
Move over.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I wanted to, so Ben, if I wanted to find your YouTube channel, how would I find it?
So first of all, it's just my name, Ben Hawley. If you look up Isaac, it'll be Isaac Tappan. It'll probably show up in there somewhere. My Instagram is On the Graze, so if you look that up too, it'll probably show up. But
what's it called? On the Graze?
On the Graze is my Instagram, but the reason I'm saying that is because the YouTube channel, all it is it's every Sunday Isaac and I do a live stream on my Instagram about a particular topic related to regenerative agriculture.
Okay.
and it's a Q&A format for the vast majority of it. So we usually cover a topic for the first 20, 30 minutes or whatever, and the rest of it's just open discussion back and forth about like anything people want to talk about, even if it's like what we had for dinner last night, like, you know, stuff like that. But then what I'll do is I'll just take that whole episode and upload it onto YouTube and then clip it out into like useful clips. Like if somebody asks a question about tire tanks or about fencing off ponds or whatever, I'll clip it out so you can just watch that like 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever.
So you don't have to watch
You
the
don't have to
whole.
watch the whole thing.
Gotcha.
If you don't want to, but that's really all it is. It's just those sessions that we do, and just another way to consume it. It's not as you know, scenic and elaborate as what you got going on, but
Yeah, well, you know, I think it's pretty dang cool what you two are doing.
It's been pretty cool. To,
Yeah,
you know, to be
I've
able to
watched
talk to
it.
a bunch of people.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of them, and I think you all are doing an outstanding job with that.
well, appreciate it.
The way you take out a topic and then you break it down, and both of you, it comes from both of your all's perspective, and y'all have been here closing in on a year.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
Can you believe it's been almost a year?
March 22nd for me will be exactly 1 year.
Yeah.
So
March
you all have a lot of good practical experience, and I wouldn't I wouldn't classify you all as greenhorns anymore.
Yeah, we still got a lot to learn.
And so I think it's awesome that you all have started this channel and that Instagram account, and it's called On the Graze.
And Isaac's got his
Yeah.
his Instagram too.
My
What's
Instagram
yours?
is my name, Isaac Tappan.
Oh, okay.
All lowercase.
And if people want to watch this live on Sunday evening, what time does it come on?
7:30 Central Time.
It's 7:30 Central Time, and it's on for an hour?
It's
Roughly,
just as
yeah.
long as it's interesting. So like sometimes it'll be 70 minutes, sometimes it'll be 55 minutes. It just depends on how long people are, you know,
We shoot
wanting to
for an
talk.
hour because we don't want to be up.
We don't
till
want to be
10
up till
o'clock
10
in the
o'clock.
morning.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you all are taking questions.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
People can put a question on there, and
Yeah.
we read them and answer right. You know,
Yeah.
it's like direct feedback from us. So.
Yeah.
Did y'all hear that? They're answering questions. So we're coming in the spring grazing. We got the spring flush in front of us. If y'all have got questions,
Yeah.
boy, I'd be tuning into that. That's going to be some really good hands-on, free. I mean, what these two you guys have picked up, I'm trying to give them everything I've got, folks, and
Yep.
I don't want to hide anything from these two young men because I want them to be successful in their venture when they go on with their careers, and so y'all are getting a direct access to that. So it's On the Graze Instagram, 7:30
7:30
Sunday
on
night.
Sunday night.
And if we're a little late or a little early, you know.
And if you miss it, you can go to just go Ben Hawley on YouTube, and you can
watch
pick the
them.
individual segments. 'Cause I saw that.
We're up to like 36.
30. Yeah, it'll be 30. The 36th one will
Week,
be
this
this
week.
week. And we'll do
36 sessions,
Yeah.
36 weeks.
36 weeks.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. We started it like in June of last year or something like that.
Okay.
It's called. So the name of the talk is called Chewing the Cud.
Yeah.
So,
Chewing the Cud. I
yeah,
love it.
That's what we call it.
That's
Yeah.
very appropriately named, I would say.
Yep.
And if we can't answer a question or whatever, we put it in the back of our head and then we ask you the next
I
day.
notice I get some questions
Yeah.
every now and then out of the blue. I'm like, I wonder what that's about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's all good.
It's
Yeah.
awesome
awesome.
because it helps us think about it in a different way
Yeah,
too. Like if
absolutely.
people have questions, we're like, huh, I never thought about that. And so,
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's good.
That's awesome. Well, and another topic that I want to cover here pretty soon is, because we are getting in spring, is our grazing chart that we've kind of put together, and I think that's going to be a good topic as well. But I wanted everybody, y'all go to Ben's channel at Ben Hawley, tune into that Instagram on Sunday night. It'd be a whole lot more educational than watching TV. I can promise you that. And if you want to further your grazing career, folks, you've got to put in the due diligence. It's not going to come to you automatically. You've got to work at it. You've got to read. You got to listen, and you got to take notes. Get your pad of paper and a good pencil or pen, and sit down and take notes when you watch these two young men on Sunday night. Or if you don't have anything to do, just tune in. Click on those.
It's pretty funny sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, I've watched it, and it is. Y'all bring a good sense of humor to it, but you're also teaching, and I love that. So I just wanted to say kudos to both of you.
Yeah, thanks for the shout out.
Yeah, well, great job, and more continued success to both of you guys. And I'm so happy that Jan and I have access to you all for another year.
I know.
That's awesome.
It's gonna be crazy.
Yep. And so anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off of here. Those of y'all new to the channel, hit that subscribe button on the way out, and also hit that little bell on the side, and you'll get a reminder every time I post a new video. Y'all take care.